Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all on the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live, and drop me a comment. I appreciate the engagement as always. We shaking and baking, baby. You feeling those moves in the market, baby? We grooving. We grooving. Market's looking pretty good. I'm really excited to live stream with you guys on what I believe will be Friday, kind of assessing the week and looking at how my week is playing out. I don't think that I'm going to be, there's always a possibility I could live stream on Thursday, but I don't think that's going to happen for the monthly close. What's up, Jorge? Welcome in, brother. Good to see you. I don't think that's going to happen on Thursday, so more than likely what I'll be doing is live streaming pretty early on Friday. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, guys. You got to hide the chat to find it, and appreciate the support. But I'm really excited to be live streaming you on Thursday or Friday, whatever day that ends up being, because we are going to get our June monthly close. I've been saying this over and over again, and it's shaping up. And we're going to get into this chart, but it is shaping up to be a very bullish month for June. June, if we get some bullish upside momentum here and we close even higher than where we're at today, we could potentially accomplish that within the next 3 days. We will see. But things are shaping up to look really good right now. I know a couple things that we're going to want to assess on Friday. Really interesting times right now. Let me finish my thought. A couple interesting things we're going to take a look at. So we're going to assess Bitcoin. We're going to assess Ethereum. We're going to take a look at the total market cap charts. We'll probably take a look at a few altcoin charts with enough data that's meaningful to look at a monthly chart. Like maybe we'll check out Digibyte. We haven't looked at Digibyte in a while. Check out XRP. Check out Cardano. Some charts like that. Yeah, I'm sure Coin, going to be an interesting chart. Maybe we can take a look at that today. Take a look at some of those charts. But the other charts I want to take a look at with you, are the S&P and NASDAQ and how they close out on the monthly, and what can we infer based on how bullish the monthly closes are for the S&P and NASDAQ. Because I got to tell you, all this data that I'm sharing with you, it's really setting up for a pivotal, what I'm going to call 6 to 10 months. Really like 6 to 10 months. And the reason is because if you haven't noticed or you haven't been paying attention, a couple things that I've really been hitting on lately is what's been going on in the interest rate market. And again, it's not an emotional opinion. It's just assessing based on these federal fund rates. And we haven't taken a look at, one of the other things we should take a look at is the losing my train of thought. Sorry, it's been somewhat of a long day. Not too bad of a day, just have a lot of things on my mind. The 10-year and 2-year treasury rates and the way they have been inverted and what historically that means in terms of being inverted and what happens when they uninvert. But again, it's all about looking at that unemotional, just factual data. And now that, I've been paying more attention, because again, I'm even thinking of rebranding my channel to not just a crypto channel, but really a crypto and financial markets education channel, because it all ties in together. But as you can see, I really enjoy talking about things going on even in the interest rate environment, and this really does play into equity and crypto markets. And based on the Federal Reserve pausing interest rates and what will very likely be a course of action next to decrease interest rates, what that historically means in terms of potentially deep recessions in the market, significant corrections in equity markets, and crypto wouldn't be immune to it. What I'm saying is, with all this stuff kind of coming up in the horizon, and also my view on this fifth wave and all these charts that to me are telling me that with high conviction that we're still going to see new all-time highs on Bitcoin and a blow-off top this year is my main hypothesis. Of course, I'm willing to acknowledge that I could be off by a few months, and maybe it's early next year. It's going to be a really interesting 6 to 10 months. I'm sort of, and we'll perhaps get into this conversation a little bit more down the road here. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. I would appreciate the support to get this channel out to more people. We'll kind of get into more of this the more that time goes on. But if you ask me, hey, CBG, how are you preparing? How are you preparing? I'm mentally, I guess that's the best way you could say it, mentally, I am preparing myself to be correct, very correct in generalities of what I'm saying, because I'm convicted. There's also a side to me mentally that is preparing myself that I could be incorrect. Okay, so meaning, hey, here are the things you need to be looking for to know if you're correct and how you should be playing that, how you should be selling your investments to actually profit from it. And what are the things you should be looking for, because you could be wrong. You've been wrong before, and this isn't being negative, it's being a realist. If you're wrong, what are the warning flags, and how do you want to play that? Should you be selling out? Should you be scaling out a part of your investments? So I'm sort of mentally preparing myself for both avenues. I've shared a lot of different things with you in terms of why I feel the way I feel, based on hard facts, and also some charts that leave me feeling tentative. And I think perhaps what I could do to further benefit you, my audience, is to formulate some of my thoughts in a more concrete fashion to say, hey, when these things trigger, this is what would leave me feeling like it's time to sort of, lean towards being incorrect. And I know something else that I've spoken to is, well, given you are correct in your hypothesis that Bitcoin's going to have a blow off top in these next, 4 to 10 months, or 8 months, 4 to 10 months, how do you know when to sell? So you're talking about us having a blow off top. How do you know when is a good price to actually start selling out of your investments? That's something that I need to put into writing, in a sense, that these are the things I'm looking for and this is how I'm playing it. And I also believe I owe it to you as the viewer to share with you not how I'm actually going to be scaling out of my investments. That's personal. But the things, I'm looking for this. And as I always say on this channel, I keep it stupid simple. I look for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there's 3 to 5 things. This, then this, then this, then this. Maybe 4 to 5 things. When these things trigger, hey man, things, if they're not topped, they're very close to top, and it's time to get out. And so that's something I need to put a little bit of effort into in the coming months here. It's nothing I have to work on in the coming week or two. We're not going to explode up to 100,000 here in the next week or two, but something I want to give some considerable thought to in the coming months to benefit both myself and yourself. Who do we have in the live stream today? Who is present? I see Jorge. I see Brian. I have a twitching right eye that will not stop. I see KR. What's up, brother? A lot of people don't like he blocks everybody that challenges. So Jorge, you had a run-in with blockchain backer, huh? So I don't know anyone that I don't mind sharing the story one more time. And this isn't to rehash anything, or I have nothing. I don't have any ill will towards anyone. Let me just make that clear. Life is short, and this is a fucking YouTube channel and Twitter. I don't know the guy personally. The blockchain backer could be one of the most nicest people that you'll ever meet, and you could have a beer with him, and he's awesome, right? I don't know the fucking guy. My story is, what the hell was my story? I even forget at this point. My story is I reached out to him. This is several years ago. I have not watched blockchain backer in God knows how long. I don't pay any attention to his videos. Okay, I don't watch the stuff. But many years ago, I had reached out to him. Probably, if I had to take a guess, I want to say it was like 2000. This is how long ago? Like 2019. And I had reached out and I was like, hey man, something about. I know I complimented him on his work, and I shared a view with him on something and asked for his opinion. That is the generalities of what I remember. I'm actually even just trying to recall. It was so innocent and so authentic, because you guys are here. You realize I'm authentic. I'm a genuine person. I'm very transparent. And I just reached out and I wanted his opinion on something. I shared something with him and he fucking blocked me. That was it. I wasn't disagreeing with him. Even if I disagreed with him on something, how many times have I said on this channel disagreement is healthy, right? I used the example of Credible Crypto yesterday, that Credible Crypto, Dude, I have so much respect for the guy. He's so logical with TA. It doesn't mean that I agree 100% with everything he shares on Twitter or his YouTube videos, right? I don't blindly just follow other people's opinions. I think it's healthy to challenge, okay, and have some inner debate and debate with somebody. So it sounds like Jorge, he blocked you, huh? You were challenging his opinion, so ding, ding, ding. Okay, let's see what else we got. Jorge, if you are correct, you make stupid amount of bread, right? Are you still going to make YouTube videos? So, you will never hear from me. You will never hear from me again. You better not disappear. What I would say to you, I'm not going to share all of my personal aspirations and goals with you guys. Some point down the road, I'll be a little bit more open, but I would say in generalities, I have a lot of high expectations for myself within the crypto industry, and being, I don't want to call myself an influencer. That's not the word I would prefer, but an educator. And I have a lot of high aspirations for myself to increasingly become a more prominent presence within the space as an educational vehicle. And so hopefully that should answer your question. Depending on how successful I am in the upcoming blow off top, or even if I'm incorrect and it's years down the road, depending how successful I am, no, I don't see myself going anywhere. In fact, to elaborate a little more, I would envision myself becoming an even more prominent figure and having even more content out there. Beginning to look, and it's only natural, I'm beginning to think about, well, what other avenues am I not pursuing for a revenue stream, right? I put a lot of time into this stuff. Shouldn't I have some sort of revenue stream based off of this? So, I've looked into, what the heck's the name of it? Now I forget the name of it. There was a site everybody uses that I was looking into, and I was like, maybe I need to put some thought into actually how this could be some sort of side revenue generating activity, because I put a lot of effort into what I do, and I mean, it really is all free content. So what was the Patreon? Yeah, Patreon. I was looking at Patreon. Yeah, but I've been doing free content for a long time, so I'd have to give some considerable thought to that. Such that it's well received and I feel good about it. But yeah, I have a lot of different thoughts about becoming a lot more integral within crypto. Again, I wouldn't use the word influencer. I don't really like that word, to be honest with you. I like the idea of being a more prominent educational figurehead in the space, a more prominent educational figurehead in the space. I prefer that. That seems like a more authentic, professional sounding statement. He dismisses people on his live stream. Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk shit on anyone, so that's that. Do you have an opinion on dividend stocks versus growth? Okay, so Brian has a question here. Man, we haven't even gotten into the charts yet, and we're having some good questions here. I like this. This is a little bit different. When you come out, I had just shared with someone just before the live stream in terms of what my vision for this channel is. And what I said is really, ultimately my vision for the channel is I want to do what I enjoy. If I'm doing this channel, it's free. It's something I do in my spare time. Whatever it is I'm doing, I want to do something I enjoy. I don't want to do something to just get me views, right? If I wanted to get views, to be honest with you guys, think about this for a moment. If I really wanted to get a lot more views and a lot bigger of a subscriber base, wouldn't I just put out XRP videos going to $100 tomorrow? Ethereum or Bitcoin to the moon. Like, wouldn't I be doing that stuff? It'd be easy to do that, right? But again, when you take personality tests too, interesting. When you take personality tests, I don't know if you've ever taken personality tests. One of the things at the heart of a personality test that I've always taken, it's integrity and authenticity. Like, I could never live with myself if I knew what I was doing was wrong and it wasn't well received by others, and I knew it wasn't the right thing for the right reason. So I can't do that. And so the view that I have for this channel really at the moment, and it's been this way, and I'm proud of the fact that I've come out here live every single weekday for 3 months now. It's been, barring something medical that has come up, is it's a live stream to talk about crypto. And sometimes it's challenging. It is challenging to come out here, especially if I have limited time to prepare for the channel, depending how my workday is, to talk about crypto when we're in this environment. I mean, when we're, it's challenging sometimes to come out here and keep the live stream interesting when we're just doing this and moving down, right? It's a lot more exciting when we're doing this, when we're moving up, right? But I love coming out here. I love coming out here and doing this every single day. Provides me something. It provides me an avenue to do something that I enjoy. Let's see what other comments we have. Oh, Brian, getting back to your comments. So next accumulation phase after the blow off top, do you have an opinion on dividend stocks versus growth? Dividend stocks in general, I mean, maybe I'm just old school and it's just a conservative thought process. I think some of it depends how you want your risk allocation to be, where you view the market to be at. But I think it's in general good if you have a basket of equities to have dividend stocks in there. I think if we are getting, and again, I don't want to speak too much in terms of what I envision kind of playing out. That's my dryer beeping for me, letting me know what's going off. Love that fucking dryer. Let me close my door here. That's an inside joke, that damn dryer. I don't want to get too ahead of myself in terms of what I view occurring next year, because what needs to play out first is what I've been speaking to. I need to see equity markets and crypto sort of have that final last euphoric run. But if I am correct in what I'm saying, and we really do get a hard correction, the types of stocks you would want to be in are very conservative recession forms of stocks. Typically, a lot of those have dividends associated with them. Now, once you've evaluated data that is signaling to you that we have either likely bottomed or very close to a bottom in equity markets, that's when you'd want to get into those more riskier technology plays for growth, in my opinion. I mean, it makes sense, right? When you're on a risk on, similar thing with crypto, right? If we get the type of correction that I'm envisioning for next year, there's no way in hell I'd want to be holding crypto. Crypto is going to correct massively hard. Okay? You can be a bull. I'm the crypto bull god. You can be bullish on the space, but it doesn't mean being a moron and ignorant to the data. Crypto doesn't go straight up, right? The general trend on the weekly chart is up, right? The general trend on the weekly chart is up, right? But we also have these movements down, okay? So this happens. And so it's not up only for crypto, and you have to play that accordingly. So there are times to be risk on and times to be risk off. So that's what I would say to that. Hopefully that made sense and was helpful. Are you dropping a BBC coin? I might be dropping a CBG coin. I do, something else real quick. I've put some thought into. I might have mentioned this before. I want to get some CBG merch out there. Maybe a tank top, maybe a coffee mug, some things that are sort of applicable to me. I also thought about how it'd be pretty cool to intersect the technology educational experience that I provide on the channel. I've always thought this would be neat to intersect that with the other part of my life that arguably is the largest passion in my life, which is fitness and exercise, and to somehow merge those two. I don't know if I could someday get a sponsorship from a company that I respect in the fitness industry, but I've thought about that, because clearly that is a huge passion of mine. Start hacking wallets. What's up, Track? Glad to see you in here. Kevin, you would ape into the CBG BBC coin? Maybe I need to get that shit going. I wonder how that thing would do. Would this be the avatar for it? What would be the avatar for it? I'm just curious. I don't know. Maybe just like a big nipple. I don't know. Chest with a big nipple. I don't know. Something that would get everyone's attention. You want more followers? Start doing live streams on the 1 minute chart. Pew, pew, pew. Look at this model. It's saying that XRP is going to go up 1,000,000% on the 1 minute chart. I'll never forget that guy back in 2018 that I called out. he said he had some sophisticated model and he was looking at Bitcoin or XRP on like the 1 minute or 2 minute chart. And I was like, dude, I'm an actuary. Like, you're talking like you're some sophisticated statistician using like predictive models. Please share what your data model is to predict price movements on XRP to a 2 minute chart. Like, get the fuck out of here. That guy, and I forget his name. He had a picture of an owl in his avatar. I hope he's not still around. I mean, losers like that. There are people, I'm not shy to label someone as a loser if they genuinely are a fucking loser. I'm not going to, like, there's a difference between giving an opinion that someone is a loser versus clearly labeling someone who is a loser because they're being disingenuous and they're just being a moron, right? I'm fine labeling someone as a loser if they're being that way, versus just having an emotional opinion. Thumbs up if you appreciate that comment. And I would, let me get this light off. Appreciate if you would give me the thumbs up and support on the channel. And now we are finally going to get into some technical analysis. So let's take a look at the 4 hour. Actually, let me take a look at the 12-hour chart first. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer to this cross here. I had mentioned the other day that I'm with the way price action is going right now, this could always change. I'm anticipating this golden cross to come in by Thursday, maybe even come in by Friday, but I'm anticipating Thursday by that last 12-hour candle. Yeah, 4 more prints on this thing. I think the 50 is going to push above the 12-hour, which will be great to see. Historically, when you get, especially in this type of environment that I believe we're in right now, you have the 200 trending up, the 50 is crossing back above it. We're on our way to new all-time highs, in my opinion. These golden crosses on the 12-hour are significant. So I would not be surprised roughly at the same time that there's a golden cross here, that there's a significant move up in price. I'm not telling you, please don't mix my words. I'm not telling you that when we get a golden cross here, price is shooting up. I'm just saying that in general, as we start to get the cross here, I would not be surprised to see that coincide with some sort of strong impulse to the upside. I want to go to the lower time frames here because in an environment like we are at, I think it adds value to have a conversation about lower time frames to kind of assess what direction we can expect on the charts. Stumbling over my words there. What I'm eyeing up right now, and it also looks like the RSI is coiling up for a move up too. This MACD is flattened out on the 4 hour. It looks like we could potentially get a cross up. Look at what price on the 4 hour is doing right now. For me, if we can see a significant break, essentially, okay, above, we're going to call it 31,000. As soon as price starts to break $31,000 with volume, time to pay attention, because there's only, in my opinion, going to be one of 2 scenarios, okay? When we break above 31,000, well, I guess there's 3 scenarios now that I say that out loud. I think there's 3 scenarios that could play out, okay? Once we definitively break 31,000 here, we're either going to come up to this area here and get a harsh rejection, okay, and that area is 31,450. So essentially, the psychology, think about the psychology of the market for a moment in these 3 scenarios. Price, once it breaks 31,000 with volume, everyone's going to be excited. Hold your breath for 31,000. We're going to call it 450, which was this top over here. We're either going to get a rejection and come back down, or we're going to come up, we're going to go a little bit above it, and then get a harsh rejection and continue down before we continue moving up. Or once we break 31,000 with volume, we're going to break this level and just continue moving up towards that $35,000 mark. Okay, those are really the 3. I'm not going to tell you which I'm leaning towards the 35,000 scenario, but any of those 3 could play out, right? Any of those 3 could play out. We are in an environment, like I said, increasingly as we continue to go higher, and it's going to be really interesting once we get up in the 40,000 region, we're going to be getting into territories very soon, in my opinion, where the pullbacks that people want and will be calling for will not occur, okay? I was incorrect when I said this $25,000 most likely wouldn't happen, in my opinion, contrarian view, because everyone was anticipating it. I was wrong. Like I said, I've been right before, I've been wrong before. I I do believe, because I've been here for these parabolic rises in price, and I told you about the time back in 2020 and 21 when we broke, guys, back here, just as a quick refresher, okay, if we go back in time, when we broke 20,000, which was approximately our prior all-time high, which was approximately right here, this candle break right here, I remember this so well. This break right here, I felt that more than likely, and it was a logical assumption, once you break the prior area of resistance, more than likely we'll come back, we'll back test it, and we'll continue higher. Guys, we never back tested it. We just continued going higher. This sort of parabolic price action where price does not come back and retest the levels that logic says it will, because it is logical to say that. Logic will not prevail. Okay, let me say that again. Increasingly, as we begin to move forward and we enter a true parabolic rise in price, logic will fail. Why would logic fail? Because think about what's going on in the chart. Increasingly, what's happening as time passes and it becomes increasingly evident that we're entering a parabolic state of the market, logic goes out the door and emotions begin to rule. There are more and more retail investors and more people, more and more money coming into this asset. And this asset doesn't want to correct and behave similarly to like it has in the past. Okay, that's what feeds the parabola. And the higher and higher we go, remember what I tweeted out about my mom, okay? My mom and joking with her, okay? And it'll become more evident when I go home if I can put together the video that I want to put together when I go home with my family. But yes, I'm hoping I can do a short little video with my mom and dad. But my mom, in joking with her, I got her a little gift. And I said, Mom, you need to send me a photo. I want to see this. And she said, what did she say to me? What did I tweet out? Sean, I'm not interested in Bitcoin. Oh, hey, CBG. CBG, I am not interested in Bitcoin until it hits $50,000. $50,000, okay? So you have to understand that the psychology of the market right now is still pretty disinterested. But as we start to get up towards 50, and I think $50,000, I think my mother stated it very well. I don't even think it's 70,000. I don't even think it's 60,000. I believe you are really going to start hearing about Bitcoin more in the news, and you're going to hear about it more from your friends and your family who are completely disinterested. Just saw you, YC. What's up, brother? I think you are really going to begin to hear more about it once Bitcoin is up at a psychological level of 50,000. I believe so. We're halfway to 100,000, okay? I think a lot more retail investors are going to be interested. To the victors go the spoils, okay? To the patient go the spoils, okay? The people who were smart enough to be buying in this level and this level, scaling in at these levels, okay? In my opinion, you will be very handsomely rewarded. You're also battle tested. If you can undergo this level of a correction and still be here, and I really mean this from the bottom of my nerdy soul, okay? The bottom of my nerdy heart. You guys got a lot of big fucking bull balls, all right? You got a lot of big bull balls, you know? To still be in this market after that level of a correction. I applaud you guys, you know, and I'm glad that I can be here with you to help you out. What else did I want to talk about in the charts here? Really, a couple days, we'll see if we can close above the red resistance. Again, keep in mind, I don't need this weekly candle to close above 31.8 or 31.9 or 32,000, right? The fact that we got this green Jesus candle and we're back in this red zone of resistance is good enough for me. I am waiting and anxiously awaiting over the next handful of weeks here to get into this territory I've spoken about at 35.5 to 43,000. What other charts did I want to talk about? This is an interesting chart. I was reassessing some of these Gaussian channel views earlier today. It was actually this morning, very early in the morning. Frankie Legend. I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome in. Glad to see you, brother. You sound like Ben Stiller. Well, I know you're just joking around. I've gotten the Ben Stiller similarity like all my life, and I'm not crazy about it. But I can't disagree with you. It's nice to see you in here. Crypto Ryan did a video on Digibyte today. I'll have to check that out. You know, there are a lot of prominent people in this space whose content I really respect, and I don't have the time to watch everybody's videos, but that one I'm definitely going to have to. I respect Crypto Ryan. He does a really nice job. Shout out to Crypto Ryan if you're watching right now, either live or in syndication. I think you do a very nice job. And that one I'm very interested in, so I'll have to check it out. Now, the thing I wanted to point out here isn't the fractal that I'm pointing to here. I actually wanted you to pay attention to what I'm indicating with these horizontal time bars of 103 bars, okay? It's not to tell you that what's going to happen today will happen as it did yesterday, but keep in mind, let's just try to level set and have a logical conversation. Welcome in, Kathleen. Enforce the thumbs up. Glad to see you. Keep in mind, my view is we're in a broader Elliott wave structure, right? This is a wave 1, this is a wave 2. This thing has not been invalidated. Wave 3, our wave 4 went all the way down to here. We had this expanded flat correction that was tricky, and then we're going to have this sharp wave 5, right? Keep in mind, wave 5, okay? One of the guiding principles in Elliott wave that you need to keep in mind when you're evaluating a structure like this is one of the rules for wave 3 is it cannot be the shortest wave, okay? Wave 5 could mirror wave 3. If that were to happen, price is going to go even higher than I'm anticipating, all right? But wave 5 could come in larger than wave 3, but we'll have as large as wave 3, and we could have sort of this extended high wave 5. But in any scenario, in any case, what I'm trying to point out is that this movement, let me try to think about how to put this in words. This movement up that we're anticipating is part of a broader structure, right? Meaning this wave structure up is part of this entire structure. And this is what the majority of people are getting incorrect on Twitter that I see, in my opinion, that are all following this 4-year cycle theory, okay? So what I'm trying to put into context here is that if we saw something in a similar time fashion, just a similar time fashion for wave 5 as we saw for wave 3, once the Gaussian channel on the 3-day turned green, that's what I'm pointing to here. If we go back in time, once the Gaussian channel had turned back from red to green, okay, it took 309 days to our all-time high. If we saw something similar now that we've turned back to green, that would have us topping basically right before the end of the year, or right at the end of the year, okay? It's not to tell you that this is going to play out in the exact same fashion. What I'm trying to illustrate to you are two things. One, no one believed back here at 9,000, 10,000, no one thought we were going to 64,000. No one thought that, okay? That's point number one, okay? Similar thought processes today. No one, very few people at 30,000 or 31,000 would think we're going to 120 or 130. There are very few people who believe that. In the shorter term here, that's where we're going. Point number two is to level set the conversation and remember that it really wasn't a lot of time. Once the Gaussian channel turned green, it really didn't take a lot of time until we went pretty fucking ballistic and entered a parabola, right? We're in this moment now, similar to right here, and I've drawn the comparison, similar to here, we bounced off the top, we're seeing some upside, we saw some upside here. Will we continue doing something similar? We will see. Again, I'm just pointing this out to you guys. Do with it what you will. Let me see. I've already been live streaming for over 30 minutes. I wanted to ask you guys, what charting questions do you have questions for me about? What TA questions do you have? I want to keep it to a few TA questions. I am having a very, very early start to my day tomorrow. I have a lot going on tomorrow. I still should be able to live stream. I don't anticipate that being an issue. I have a lot going on tomorrow, so I want to make sure to get to bed pretty early tonight. Oh, real quick. It's funny, yesterday, as you're thinking about what you want me to chart out, on yesterday's live stream, I don't know if you recall me saying this. I was talking about Bitcoin Cash, and I said I'd be happy to chart Coin, Brian. We'll take a look at it together. I was taking a look at Bitcoin Cash with you guys, and I said, I was talking about the OG coins, and I said, of the OG coins, Stellar Lumens is the one that I'm really interested in terms of looking really bullish. It looks like it's setting up for a really big bullish play. Well, call it the CBG effect. We're up 11% today. So XLM is setting up for a very nice trend reversal to the upside, in my opinion. Guys, until proven wrong, this is still a cup and handle. I've shown you what the target is here. I mean, the target is up north of $2. Whether that plays out or not, whether Stellar Lumens does more than a 20x from current price levels, that has yet to be determined and remains to be seen, as they say. But I'm just giving you the technical target based on this being a massive cup and handle. We'll see if it plays out. What else we got here? Thank you, Kathleen. Thumbs up is appreciated. Track, we just took a look at Bitcoin Cash yesterday. I'll give a very, very quick recap, okay? Let's look at Coin first. I know that Brian had a question on Coin. Let's take a look at Coin first. Looks like I have a pre-existing chart on here. Whew, it's getting hot in here. I have to turn up the AC. God damn. It is hot in South Florida, guys. It's like, shit is like 95 degrees with 95% humidity right now. Get some of these moving averages. It's tough because there's not a lot of price data. What I would say about Coin for me, let's talk about price action and then let's talk about price indicators. This is a 2-day chart of Coin, ticker symbol COIN. If you're that illiterate and can't spell the word coin, feel free to drop off the live stream. This is Coinbase stock. You can see the one thing I would point out here that I'm looking at is some descending resistance here, okay? Also, I'm showing the 20 and 50 simple moving averages. 20 is yellow, 50 is purple. You can see we're above both moving averages, which is good to see. For me, it's all about this zone of resistance right here. We have descending resistance and this upper level of resistance, and really it's a zone. We can get a little bit more acute and we can draw it like that, and we can say there's a zone there. There's an entire zone of resistance on Coin between, depending when we hit this descending resistance here, right around $77. Let's just put a box. Let me just draw a little box. Let me see. Depending when we hit it, okay? This is the orange box that we really need to push through. You can see I have it drawn basically, let's say 75, right between 75 and 88. So 75 to 88 is a major area of price confluence. Once we do end up breaking 88, okay, it looks like we'll have another zone of resistance at 98. There's a psychological level at 100, obviously. I speak to psychological levels all the time. So 98, $100 will be another area of resistance, followed by this swing high here at 116. So again, once we break 75 to 88, it looks like we have another area of resistance right between 98 and 116. That would be those areas of resistance. Let's take a look at any price indicators that are giving us a story here. Do I have two MACDs on? Oh, okay, good. Okay, stochastic RSI, very healthy. We have 86 over 67. The MACD has crossed up. It's positive. It's above zero. Very good to see. When does the next 2-day open? Opens Thursday. So we need price to remain strong tomorrow, but MACD's looking good. Stochastic RSI looks good. The RSI looks very healthy. What the hell's the RSI at? 62, very healthy. Very, very healthy. Just curious. Anything else I would point out? No. That's all I would say on coin. I mean, 75 to 88 will be a key area to get above. Once we start getting above 88, it's going to get interesting. So, because we haven't been above that level since, all the way back in August of 2022, right? And this is a great example. If you believe the headlines, if your philosophy was, hey, I like to watch legacy news and I like to read the fucking New York Times. Somebody, my boss actually sent me an article at work for something for me to read the other week. And it was from the New York Times. And the first thing I did was I saw that it was from the New York Times. And I'm like, why am I reading something from the New York Times? Like, it's unfortunate, but so many things are politically driven nowadays that as soon as I saw it's from the New York Times, I'm like, it's going to be a political narrative here. And I wasn't even the one that said it. I replied back and I gave him my feedback. And someone else, it was a medical doctor, because it was medical related, medical doctor that works for the company, replied back and said something to the effect, well, it's sad, it's upsetting and unfortunate to see that there's a political narrative. And I was like, oh, you're fucking preaching to the choir here. Jesus Christ, every mainstream media outlet is politically driven. You want to know why I'm cynical about politics? Oh my God. Anyway, guys, if your philosophy on investing is to watch CNN and Fox News and read the New York Times, you're not going to do well in the market. If you want to listen to Jim Cramer, you're not going to fucking do well in the market. If you listen to Jim Cramer and you listen to the news narratives out there, you wouldn't put a dime into Coinbase. You would have been panic selling down here at 46, 47 bucks, and now we're all the way up at 71, right? So same thing with Bitcoin, right? I mean, again, go back to my YouTube videos and look at the video that was published, I believe, in December of, I'm not going to go back, but I think it was December of last year. And it was, the title of the video was The Death of Bitcoin. And basically what I do is chronologically go through and point out prominent publications and people who speak to how Bitcoin is dead, and then the meteoric rise in price that resumes after those statements. So very interesting. Remember, BlackRock thought Bitcoin was the scum of the earth, and now they're applying for a spot ETF. Keep in mind the big difference between a futures ETF and a spot ETF. Do you know what it is? A futures does not require the company to actually hold the asset. A spot ETF, which BlackRock is applied for, and they have an extremely high success rate at getting these things approved, this would require BlackRock to buy and hold said assets that are in the ETF that are being traded. So this is a company that came out a few years ago and said Bitcoin was basically shit. You can't do what they say. You have to look past that stuff. I wanted a quick comment on Bitcoin Cash. I covered this extensively the other day, Track. But because you are a loyal viewer, I'm going to go back and I'm going to quickly share with you and summarize what I said. The key punchline I said is that we're either top, and I gave more details, so you can go back to yesterday's video and watch it if you want it. But I basically said we're either topping in the range we're at right now, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback closer to 166, or we're going to continue getting overbought and push up to this 300 to 385 level before we see a pushback. It will be interesting. Once we break 385 with conviction, it's going to be interesting to see how high price can go. So it's really two scenarios I see right now. We're going to continue pushing higher and get really overextended and get up to this 3 to 385 level, or we're going to top out in this general area and then kind of pull back in here and then continue higher. So that is my view. In this area back here, when Bitcoin Cash was just over 100, I purchased 2 BCH. I was like, I'm good with that. I mean, like I said, I love the novelty of owning a lot of these OG coins. So anyway, all right, 2 more charts, and then we're going to call it a day. Ricky's question is VeChain. No thoughts on VeChain in terms of my views of the project. I'm not invested in it. I'm not super familiar with it. You have to understand different projects have been vetted to me by all sorts of different people. And it's not that I don't believe in a project. It's simply you only have time to research so much, right? So I don't have any personal thoughts on VeChain, ticker symbol VET. But we haven't looked at this one in a while, so it'll be interesting to take a look here. You can see I had these, so what's going on here? I had these green areas marked as areas of support because at the time we had assessed price action, we were above it. You can see we've broken below. Never good to see. So we need to regain that area of support. Fucking trading view has been pissing me off with the auto option. You see how the auto options disappeared? Auto and log is not there. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I tried to get help on Twitter and no one knew. It's so goddamn frustrating. Fucking trading view. God damn it. Jesus Christ. This is really annoying. All right, so what I'm trying to do is, okay, so we didn't get that low. Trying to give you my main area of support here, let's first assess where areas of support would be on VeChain. I think it's a rather obvious area. I would identify a zone here. What I like to do, so when I'm trying to identify areas of resistance or support, you guys know I place a lot of emphasis on the bodies. There's a lot more credibility if you can place areas of price confluence at the candle bodies versus the wicks. Because those wicks, if you think about psychologically what's going on, it represents volatility. So you see a big spike down, right? Big spike down, seller exhaustion, all the buyers coming at this level. So yes, this is an area, but the candle bodies, man, that's where price opens and closes. So there's a little bit more credence, higher credibility behind those areas, in my opinion. So what I've done here is I've identified a zone of support, and it's right between, it looks like essentially 1.5 cents and 1.3 cents. So this is your major area of support. I don't want to go below here. Now it's all about breaking resistance. Okay, we got 1.96 cents, 2.1 cents, and 2.2 cents. You can also see what else is going on here. We have another area. You can draw this. You can draw these descending. You can get crazy if you want to. You can draw multiple. We broke out above this one. Okay. But you can draw another area of descending resistance we need to break above, but I don't want to overcomplicate the chart. Really, it's about maintaining this region of support, and then breaking, this 1.96 cent to 2.2 cent area here. Okay, that's really, and then you got this other major descending resistance you need to break out above. What I would say, who asked that question again? Ricky, thank you for the question. Hey, good to see you in here, by the way, Ricky. I didn't see you earlier if you commented, sorry. Ricky, what I would say is come back to let's look at the price indicators real quick. This is on the weekly, by the way. Yeah, depending how price action closes out the week, we could potentially start to see a cross back up in the MACD, which would be good. RSI is still oversold at 44.5, kind of on par with a lot of alts, so nothing super alarming there. Ricky, come back to the channel with your questions on VeChain. And I do this commonly with a lot of, when you guys ask me to chart things, I chart it out. I tell you what to look for, in my opinion, never financial advice, support, resistance, all right? But then let's not revisit a chart every single week unless if something definitively has changed. So in this case, Ricky, come back to the channel once we definitively get a weekly close above 2.2 cents. And I didn't mean come back to the channel. I want you here every day. Ask this question on VeChain once we definitively close back above 2.2 cents. That's what I would look for. All right, what else we got going on here? What else we got going on here? Last question. Anchor. All right, I feel like we just looked at this one recently. Oh, Jesus. Is this right? ANKR? No, we didn't look at this, and this is an ugly ass chart. Did I do this? Why did I do this? Oh, Jesus. I drew this? Wow, I haven't looked at that in a while. Is that the only chart I have? Are you serious? Wow, that's ugly ass chart. Let's pull up a brand new chart on Anchor. That was one ugly ass chart. Who asked this one? Oh, Kathleen, of course. For you? Of course I will chart this out. Kathleen is one of my big supporters. So even if I don't have time to chart something, I will make time to chart something. What exchange? Typically Binance is good. They usually have a lot of price data. Oh, real great. Okay. This is Anchor. Let me get to your comment in a second, Kathleen. I want to make sure I'm interpreting that correctly. All right, let me get to charting Anchor here. So this is on a weekly. There's enough price data here. I think it would add a lot more value to have a conversation on a higher time frame rather than going lower time frame. Again, I think in a situation like this, to chart this out and help you kind of assess what's going on, the most helpful thing I could do, look at a higher time frame. Maybe we'll go to a lower time frame to see if we can see any bullish divergence or anything sort of taking place on the lower time frames from a bullish or bearish narrative that could eventually play out in the higher time frames. But for now, let's focus on the higher time frames. This is what will benefit you as a chartist moving forward, in my opinion, is to really focus on those higher time frames and to narrow in on the lower to give you some of that inside information to see if there's any bullish or bearish divergence present, which could bleed into the higher time frames. Okay, so we have descending resistance here, right? That's kind of the first thing that sticks out to me. The other thing that sticks out to me, and we'll look at price indicators in a moment, I hate this auto scaling that I can't adjust. This is really beginning to irritate the piss out of me. We're going to draw areas of price confluence. Sorry, I got to adjust this. This is goddamn TradingView fucking redoing their shit. And it's really, you can see how agitated I am. This is really pissing me off. Don't have a goddamn auto scale here. Don't have a log scale. Don't know why they had to redo everything. Why do companies have to make why do companies have to make improvements where there are no improvements to be made? All right. So this is kind of a zone of support that I don't want to see us go below. Now, one of the positive, encouraging things to see with Anchor here, as you recall, we kind of had this conversation a couple days ago. We didn't double bottom, and we didn't create a new low relative to the low that we set in 2022. You can see this is a low and a higher low. Okay, so to me, that's expressing a greater degree of strength than some of these ones that have double bottomed or formed lower lows like a Cardanzo, okay? So ultimately, I just don't want to see this 1.56 cent area to 1.47 cent area be taken out. I want to see that area hold, okay? As long as we hold that area, we're good. Looks like there's another area of obvious price support right here, okay? So if we were to back test anywhere, okay, and it was bullish, I would suspect that we'd come right back down to 2 cents. It looks like we're sitting at 2.4 cents at the moment. So a 20% retracement would not surprise me one bit. And in terms of areas of resistance, we can quickly scale these out. Let's talk about major areas of resistance. I don't want to muddy up the charts too much. That's an obvious one. Okay. So, Kathleen, in terms of areas of resistance that we're going to encounter, we're going to meet this descending area of resistance here, corresponding with this area of price confluence, right around 3.4 cents. That's an area. We have another major area of resistance at 4.9 cents, and then 5.7 cents. What I would say to you, Kathleen, is let's take a second look at Anchor. Okay, come back with your questions on Anchor. Once we start getting candle body closes, not wicks, a weekly candle body close anywhere in this region, 4.8, let's just call it 4.8 cents to 5.7 cents. Come back and let's have a conversation and reassess where the chart's at once we start getting candle body closes up there. If we look at the price indicators, I'm not going to go to the lower time frames. If I go to the price indicators, stochastic RSI, ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. Stochastic RSI cross up, 27 over 15. RSI is still oversold at 44. We got plenty of room to run. And the MACD looks like it wants to flatten out and begin to curl back up if we can get a bullish week here. Okay? You can see, look at the histogram. This is the indicator. Look at this histogram is dark red. And now we're starting to lighten up. We're starting to light up in the histogram. And you can also see that we were declining, but now we flattened. We want to see us start to come back up. So positive, encouraging signs here that we may begin to see a trend reversal to the upside in the coming weeks here, as long as we can continue to formulate bullish candle closes here. Anyone having problems with their USD coins on Binance? I'm assuming you mean Binance US, Kathleen, showing that it is not yet listed, but it's still in their wallet. Well, I don't know if you're talking about Binance US, but Binance US discontinued USD trading. So you have to take those assets. I think there's a couple things. You may be able to convert it to Bitcoin. I'm not even sure. Some of the assets are available to be converted or sold into Bitcoin or Ethereum. Some of them are not, so you'd have to transfer them to an external wallet. Like I use Trust Wallet. So I have Harmony One is a great example. I was trying to decide what the hell to do with Harmony One now that Binance US has been cut off, hopefully temporarily. I hope to God Binance US does not go under and because of the goddamn SEC. Sorry for my language. It really upsets me. Because of the whole fucking SEC. Sorry for my language as I drop another F-bomb. Binance US has been my go-to exchange, and it just pisses me off what's going on with them and the banks shutting off. So hopefully that gets resolved. They reopen USD pairings and they do something to get their customers back. I don't know, but I know I will be supporting them from day one once they reopen if they do. But I had to decide what to do with Harmony One, and so I withdrew my Harmony One and put it on my Trust Wallet. So that is where it's at the moment. So that's all I got, guys. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, I need to cut out. I need to get dinner going. I want to get to bed early. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Long day. So, but I should be back tomorrow. Keep an eye out. Make sure you click the bell icon for notifications. I really wanted to cover the monthly candle closes on. Oh no, wait. The monthly candle closes not on Thursday. It's on Friday, huh? Shit. I was thinking it was Thursday. More than likely, I'm not going to be live streaming on Thursday, okay? Because I'm going to be traveling. But Friday is the monthly close. So depending on my availability, I don't think I'm going to be available Friday evening. So more than likely, it's going to be an early day Friday live stream. I'm just trying to give you some heads up. Saturday, I'll be traveling. Yeah, we're starting to do a lot of travels here in July. Even if it's not until Monday, I will be back with you at some point shortly after the monthly close. Again, you guys know I'm extremely excited about the monthly close for June. So I want to take a look at that with you guys together. I just don't know what day it's going to be because I'm going to be, again, July is just going to be a very hectic month for me. So just make sure you hit that bell icon to know when I go live. If you want to join me live and ask questions and interact with me. But as always, I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate your support. If you appreciate this content, before you tune out, make sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't by hiding the chat and hitting the thumbs up. Share this video with at least one person. And until next time, spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Take care, everybody.